this week we're going to be talking about negative shapes and negative spaces as opposed to the positive. And we are going to be doing an exercise which is not part of our usual drawing process. We are stepping away from our construction and line drawing this week and really going to just focus on helping you to see and draw what is not in front of you as accurately as what is in front of you. So we've been very much focusing on measuring our objects. Well, this week we are not going to be measuring, we're going to be relying on our eye, and we are going to be focusing on the spaces between our objects and around our objects. So the objects are positive. The space around, in between the objects, those are the negatives, the air in between. And a lot of times when you are drawing something complex, if you can look at the simple shapes around and between the complex parts of the object, you can then get yourself that much closer to accurately drawing the thing itself. So we are going to be setting up a few objects this week, at least 2 overlapping, but you may need more if your objects are too simple. You want to look for things that can create spaces. So I have chosen my coffee and teapot here because they have these nice handles and spouts. And by positioning the handles so they're overlapping, I've created a negative space in here, a negative space in here, and down below here. And by putting the lid of the one over to the left, I've created an interesting shape in here. And I'm going to crop in on my composition. So I have, if I crop in right at the spout on the right hand side, I'll create a space here. If I crop in on the top, I can create a space up here at the top. If I crop in at the bottom, then I'm creating a negative shape in here. And by coming into the side, just hitting the lid there and the spout on the teapot, I'll create another little space in here and a little space in there. So how you crop in on your objects is going to be important. And I want you to think about what type of composition you'll be needing. Is it going to be horizontal, or are you going to need a taller, more vertical composition for your paper? So be sure to flip your paper in that direction when we get going. You can also take a photograph from your eye level. So let's see, actually my eye level is a little more like this. And then on your phone, try cropping in to see if you have many interesting negative shapes happening there. So look around your house. It might take a while to figure out what you have. Something that, like an iron that has an electrical cord, you could wrap the cord around another object. So maybe an iron, a hair dryer, other appliances might be interesting. Like an electric fan would be super cool if it doesn't have too many little tiny spokes all over it, or that could take you all day. Children's toys that have interesting parts and things sticking out. You could do a plant again, overlap that with something else like a bottle or a pitcher. So think about what you can overlap to create some interesting shapes, but you have to make sure that you have at least 2 objects overlapping to create negative spaces, because you are going to need to merge those overlapping parts together into one silhouette. So we're only going to be focusing on the spaces created in and around the objects. We are not drawing the objects themselves today. So this is another one of those instances where your brain is having to be tweaked a little bit. We are trying to make you see things in a way that you don't normally see. So set up some sort of still life, get some interesting spaces in there, and then we will be ready to tone and prepare our paper.